Hi boys and girls, I'm very glad that you're joining me today. Today we're going to be creating some tie-dye art with things that we can find around the house. So here is a piece that I created from a paper towel. And here's another piece that I created from a coffee filter. Nice radial pattern. My inspiration for this project came while I was doing laundry. It came when I found and was folding my very favorite tie-dye t-shirt of all time. This is one that I made with my daughter. And one of the things that I love most about tie-dye is I love watching how the colors bleed and blend together. So this really made me think about our color theory lessons that we have been working on. So as you guys know, if you mix two primary colors together, you're going to get a brand new secondary color. A really good example of this on my shirt here is right here in this area. You can see where the red ink blended with the yellow ink to create this beautiful orange color. So with red being a primary color and yellow being a primary color, in turn, when these mixed up, guys, we got orange, which is a secondary color. I love the different colors on here. We created some nice greens, some oranges, purples, and you guys are going to get an opportunity to do the same type of thing with your artwork today. So we're going to get to play around with both primary and secondary colors. Really, guys, you can use any type of colors that you find around your house, but it's really awesome to see the way that these colors can blend and bleed together. So let's get started. If you look at the color wheel, you notice that we have the three primary colors represented with the letter P. We have yellow, blue, and red. We also have three secondary colors represented with the letter S: green, purple, and orange. Our study of color theory has taught us that if we add two primary colors together, we can create a secondary color. If we add blue and red together, we get purple. If we add yellow and blue together, we get green. And if we add red and yellow together, we get orange. Keep this in mind when adding colors to your tie-dye artwork. Okay, friends, the first thing that we need to do, we need to gather our materials. So the list of materials are things that we're gonna need today to create our tie-dye art. We're gonna need a coffee filter or a paper towel, washable markers, a little bit of water, and an old folder or some old papers that you can recycle or reuse. And we're gonna lay these down under our tie-dye just to kind of act as like a barrier so none of our tie-dye stains the surface below it. So the very first thing, you guys, you can choose to use a coffee filter like this, or you could choose to use a paper towel. If you use a paper towel, if you have a long one like I have, you could cut this in half and you could have two tie-dye pieces. So there's an option there. The next thing, washable markers. And I have these Crayola markers that you could use, something similar. You do want to make sure they're washable. If you are using permanent markers, they're not going to bleed like tie-dye would. They're not going to blend together. So we have to make sure we're using washable markers. Let's see, you need a little bit of water, and I have just a little bowl of water here. Set that off to the side. And last but not least, you just need some old scrap papers. Anything you can find. It could be old homework papers, it could be newspapers, it could be an old folder, but this is what we're gonna let our tie-dye dry on. Using a paper towel today, and the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to fold our paper towel or our coffee filter. We're going to fold it in half one time, and then we're going to fold it in half a second time, just like that. So now we are ready to add some color to our artwork. So the key here, we want to add color, but we're not drawing a picture. We're just adding color to add color. So there doesn't have to be any pattern that you're creating. You can color as much or as little of one color as you want. So I'm adding some blue in there. I'm gonna add some red. add some yellow. Add some more blue over here. And then a little bit more yellow here too. All right. All right, guys, the next thing you want to do, you want to move your artwork to the side, lay out your old papers or your old folder or whatever you're using to protect your table. And then you want to grab your water, and we are ready to create some cool tie-dye. So I'm going to take this paper towel, I'm going to flip it to where the blank side is facing me, and I'm going to fold this one more time in the corner, kind of like that. It's not a perfect fold, but it gives me a little bit of color on each side, and I like to fold diagonally. So for this next step, my hands will probably get a little messy, but we have our old papers underneath to keep our table nice and clean. If you want to fold again, feel free to fold again. You can fold as many times as you'd like, but this is what's going to help the colors to bleed out into different places. So I'm going to dip the end, or just the tip, in water. And my paper towel is beginning to absorb that water. You can see it bleeding down. I can get a little water with my fingers and sprinkle it on there. I could dip the opposite side in there. Let that bleed through. Oh yeah. Want to make sure we get color everywhere, so I'm squeezing the ink through. Making sure it bleeds all the way down. The more water you use, the lighter your colors will be. The less water you use, the brighter and deeper and darker your colors will be. So now I get to unfold this. I'm very excited. Beautiful, you guys. And I have a brand new piece of tie-dye artwork. So I'm gonna let this dry, but something I want us to look at. I only used primary colors, but if you look around, you see lots of greens in here and some oranges and some deep violet and purples. That just goes to show again how mixing those two primary colors together, we can get beautiful secondary colors like green, orange, and purple. Boys and girls, my artwork is not quite dry yet. It does take about 15 or 20 minutes. It's still a little flimsy and wet. However, a few more minutes and it'll be dry. In the meantime, you can be thinking about what you want to do with your brand new tie-dye artwork. You could keep it as a work of art on its own. You could use it as a background for a new work of art. You could use some Sharpies to really bring those colors to life. You could tape it in a window. They look really beautiful, especially the coffee filters. In windows, they let a little bit of light shine through, so it almost gives a stained glass effect. That would be something really cool you could do. Be sure to ask your parents first. But regardless, you guys, I'm so proud that you came to create some art with me today, and I cannot wait to see what you've created. I want you to remember to go to our media album on our Schoology page and share your artwork with us. I want to see everybody's tie-dye. Until next time, my friends, stay creative.